Imagine a job market where the demand for skilled workers is on the rise, and companies are eager to hire the best talent. Welcome to India in 2025, where the hiring trends are looking promising, despite a slight dip in sentiment. But here's where it gets interesting. The latest ManpowerGroup Employment Outlook Survey reveals that Indian employers are expected to ease hiring in the upcoming months, while still maintaining a strong global standing in employment prospects. This raises an important question. What's driving this trend, and which sectors are leading the way? To answer this, let's dive into the survey's findings and explore the key takeaways. The survey, which interviewed over 40,000 employers across 42 countries, including 3,149 in India, found that the Net Employment Outlook (NEO) is driven by expansion plans and demand for tech skills. India ranked second among the 42 countries for hiring intent, with a 40% hiring intent, just behind the UAE's 45%. But what's notable is that the survey divides the year into 4 quarters, and the findings are based on responses collected between July 1st and July 31st, 2025. So, what do these numbers mean for job seekers and employers alike? For starters, the energy and utility sector is leading the trend, with an 18% increase in hiring intent compared to the same period last year. Other industries, such as financial services, real estate, communication services, IT, and healthcare, are also demonstrating robust hiring demand. In fact, communication services recorded a 33% year-on-year rise in hiring intent, signaling renewed growth in employment-intensive segments. But here's the part most people miss. The gig economy and e-commerce platforms are reshaping employment patterns, offering structured career growth and boosting disposable incomes for young workers. A separate white paper published in September 2025 highlights the rising role of e-commerce in shaping employment, particularly in Delhi NCR, where 70% of gig workers have seen higher disposable incomes through part-time, seasonal, and gig roles. E-commerce platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, Delhivery, and Meesho are at the forefront of this transformation, not only creating jobs, but also formalizing employment in retail and logistics. So, what are the key takeaways from these findings? Firstly, India remains a global leader in hiring intent, ranking second among 42 countries despite a slight quarterly dip in sentiment. Secondly, high-growth industries like energy and utilities, financial services, real estate, IT, and communication services are driving the demand for talent. Thirdly, traditional employment sectors like agriculture and construction continue to provide large-scale jobs, but hiring momentum remains steady rather than accelerating. Lastly, the gig economy and e-commerce platforms are reshaping employment patterns, offering structured career growth and boosting disposable incomes for young workers. And this is the part that sparks controversy. While some argue that the gig economy is the future of work, others claim that it's a threat to traditional employment. But one thing is certain, hiring momentum is closely tied to domestic consumption, which remains the backbone of India's economy, contributing over 60% to GDP. As the Indian job market continues to evolve, one thing is clear. Companies must adapt to the changing landscape and prioritize skill development, inclusive workplace practices, and investments in infrastructure to foster sustainable, long-term careers. So we ask you, what's your take on the future of work in India? Do you think the gig economy is a boon or a bane? Share your thoughts in the comments below. About India Briefing. India Briefing is one of 5 regional publications under the Asia Briefing brand, supported by Des & Shira Associates, a pan-Asia, multidisciplinary professional services firm that assists foreign investors throughout Asia. For a complimentary subscription to India Briefing's content products, please click here. Des & Shira Associates also maintains offices or has alliance partners assisting foreign investors in China, Hong Kong SAR, Dubai, Indonesia. Singapore, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Italy, Germany, the United States, and Australia.